Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brian from Orchids by Brian, and today I'm going to walk you through exactly how I built my cloud forest setup. The tent, the humidity, the temperature control, the lighting, and how I water. So you can grow these incredible high elevation species successfully, even if you don't live somewhere naturally cool and misty. Let's get into it. Why even bother with a dedicated cool growing setup? A huge number of the most beautiful and unusual orchid species in the world come from the cloud forests. High elevation, cool, misty environments in places like Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. Genera like Masdevallias, Dendrobium cuthbertsoni, and Lepanthes evolved in conditions that are cool, humid, and sometimes bright, but not hot. Often in the 50 to 60 degree Fahrenheit range at night, and rarely climbing much past the low 70s during the day. It opens the door to growing genera that are otherwise really tough to keep in a typical home. That's really the whole premise of this build. Control the environment, and you can grow the plants everyone tells you are impossible. Instead of building shelving from scratch, I use a 4-foot Baker's Rack shelving unit from Target. It's affordable, sturdy, and the wire shelving is perfect for airflow. To actually enclose the rack, I use an Athena VP Culture Dome tent. It wraps around the shelving unit and gives me a sealed environment I can control independently from the rest of the room. The last piece is vertical grow space. A lot of these cloud forest species, especially Lepanthes and Masdevallia, do best mounted, and I want to maximize how many plants I can fit per shelf. So I line the inside of each shelf level with poultry netting, stretched and secured along the back and sides. This gives me a wire mesh wall I can hang mounted orchids on, turning every shelf into a vertical growing surface instead of just a flat one. Cloud forest orchids live in near constant humidity, so this is one of the most important parts of the build. On each shelf, I run humidity trays. I use standard plant nursery seedling trays lined with a plastic grate on top. Water sits in the trays, the grate keeps the pots or mounts up out of the water, and as it evaporates, it raises the ambient humidity right where the plants are. The other big humidity boost comes from misting. I mist my mounted orchids daily, and that alone makes a big difference. It's not just wetting the plants, it's putting moisture into the air of the tent itself. Between the humidity trays and the daily misting, I'm able to keep the tent in a range that mimics what these plants would experience naturally in the cloud forests, somewhere between 75 to 90% humidity. Temperature is the piece that really makes or breaks a cool growing setup, because most grow tents run warm, not cool. I actually started out with a Den Big portable tent air conditioner, and it worked fine as an entry point. But if you're serious about this, the best option on the market right now is the VivoSun air conditioner. It is a noticeable step up in performance and reliability for the tent. You want the air conditioner venting the cool air directly into the tent, but pulling its return air and humidity from the room outside of the tent, not from inside the tent itself. Set it up so the AC intake is in the room and the cold air output goes into the tent. That way you get cold air in and your humidity also stays put. I also run 1 to 2 fans on each shelf blowing constantly, day and night. This keeps temperatures even throughout the tent and keeps air moving across the leaves, which is critical for preventing fungal issues and standing water, both of which will damage or rot leaves over time if the air goes stagnant. For lighting, I keep it simple. T8 strip lights, 1 to 2 per shelf depending on what I'm growing. For species like Masdevallia and Lepanthes, one T8 strip running across the top of the shelf is usually enough. They don't need intense light, since in the wild they're often growing in the understory or dappled light of the cloud forest. For plants that want a bit more light, I'll run 2 strips per shelf. For example, with my Dendrobium Cuthbertsoni hybrids and species, I have 2 strip lights on that section of the tent, which allows them to get the light they need to flower and grow successfully. Lights are on a simple 12 hours on, 12 hours off cycle, which mimics a consistent equatorial day length, appropriate for most of these cloud forest species, since they come from regions close to the equator with fairly even day lengths year-round. For daily watering, I use a standard mister from Harbor Freight and mist my mounted orchids every day. It's simple, cheap, and effective. When I'm away for an extended period, I switch to a misting system to keep the plants watered automatically. The mister I use has an automatic timer, which I allow to mist every day for about 1 minute to a minute and a half. The longest I've run the misting system continuously was 2 weeks, and even then I lost some leaves and saw visible stress on several plants. If you've got a plant sitter who can commit to daily hand watering, that's always going to be better than a mister running unattended for weeks. In conclusion, a cool growing grow tent is an exciting and dynamic way to grow uncommon and rare orchids. If you love species from the chilly cloud forests, the Masdevallias, the Lepanthes, the Draculas, the Dendrobiums of the world, this is the way to go. Feel free to ask any questions in the comment section below. I'm happy to share any advice I have. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Brian from Orchids by Brian, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.